Hi, and welcome to this video, and welcome back to my shed. Got some things here left in the boot of a car that flooded. Spanner has sentimental value, so what we're going to try and do is get the rust off it and bring it back to normal. Also have a shifting spanner that won't turn, so let's get into that. Right, so that's pretty long, not too wide, but I normally use a tray for this, and the tray is not big enough to have that in, because obviously the objective is to use as little as possible of whatever you're attempting to get the rust out with. So I'm going to use the CLR. In this case we'll use this or apple cider vinegar. This stuff's pretty good. And what I've done is I've made this tube. Now I didn't video this because it's pretty simple. It's just a 90mm outside diameter PVC plumbing piping, and I just got an end cap and just glued the end to there. So you just clean it. I clean it with a bit of thinners, and then I use the appropriate glue, which is this stuff, and just smear that around the edge and put the cap on, and then we've got our tube there, and we can put our spanner down into that tube, into the bottom there, and our shifter and whatever else we want to de-rust. So let's do that, and then we'll have to leave it for 12 hours or something and come back and see what it looks like. Okay, we're also going to do this outside because you want it in a well ventilated area, unlike this shed, which is pretty enclosed. So let's move outside and get on with it. Okay, so now we're outside. I'm going to put our spanner into here carefully. Don't want to drop it and break the bottom because it's plastic. I'm also going to put in that spanner down. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm only going to fill it about halfway. That'll enable us to save even more of this or use less of this fluid. Just need a key. Just to open the seal on it. There we go. As I said, you can use apple cider vinegar as well for this. And you can dilute it with a bit of water as well. But looking at this, it would take, it's going to take this whole bottle. It would probably take, yeah, might as well just put it in. I might leave that full strength. It'll work quicker. That's about half. So I'll just show you. Here you go. That's in the vessel. You can't see much at the moment, obviously, but we'll have another look in there when we come back. Leave that for a couple of hours. I'm going to move this back inside, but I'm going to leave the shed and go away and let it do its thing overnight, and tomorrow we'll come back and have a look at it and see what's happened. Okay, well, it's been a day and a bit. And you can see it's a little bit funky there. I'm going to go take this and give it a wash in some water, and we'll see you back in the shed. Okay, so here it is. Obviously you can see it's still a little bit wet. Now, there's not much you can do about the metal that's been eaten away, but basically it'll leave it with this black finish Now you could grab some steel wool and you wouldn't just be polishing the rust, you could actually polish this up, but that would take off a bit more material. But what I'll do as a simple solution is this, the good old WD-40. So I'm just going to, the bluing shouldn't rust that it's left with, but just give it a coat of WD-40. There you go. And then just sort of dry it off with a cloth. And basically what you have there is all the rust removed in a spanner that shouldn't rust anymore because it's got that oil. And just give it a bit of oil or some WD-40 a couple of times, and that'll get right into the pores of it there and stop it from rusting again. But there you go. It's better than that awful rusty looking spanner we had. So just a simple tube, a cap glued on one end, saves having to get a big tub and fill it with something that's quite expensive. Whether you're going to use the CLR or you're going to use something like apple cider vinegar or your own homemade thing. I think there's like bicarb soda and vinegar and stuff like that you can do to make one. So that's recovered that, at least mostly. I might give it a polish with the wire wheel a bit, and I'll show you how that comes out. Right, so there we are, and just like that, a few seconds on a wire wheel, and it comes up quite shiny. But always give it a bit of WD-40 just to keep it from developing surface rust. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining me again. If you've got any comments you'd like to make, down in the description. And what can I say? Well, you all be good to each other, take care, and be kind to one another. And I'll see you on the next episode of Tips and Tricks. Whoa, and before I forget, grab an old milk carton or something like that, or a milk bottle I should say, and tip that out into that and keep it and use it another day, because there's no point in tipping this away and disposing of it, and then you're going to need to go out and buy another $18, $20 bottle of CLR or however much it costs for apple cider vinegar. So you're better off keeping it and using it again. It will work for quite a while. Anyway, see you later.